We'd like to welcome to our studios there at Calabash TV, Tony Wilkinson. Tony, welcome to Calabash TV.
Yes, thank you, Bernard. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here with you today.
So run, leave the man and run. Music is power. Music is power. It's cultural change.
All hands on board. Don't let crime ruin this country. All hands on board. Don't sell your soul for money.
Say peep, who the people want peep. I hearing them noise peep. For we future peep, 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 peep.
In Gomorrah,
So much of wickedness,
in Gomorrah,
killing and drunkenness.
in Gomorrah,
Every day is a bloodshed.
in Gomorrah.
Our people living in fear.
Mighty K, your fans screaming out your name.
And long after you dead,
You remain in the Hall of Fame.
it's the African in me. I love liberty.
It's the African in me.
I express black beauty. I'm hearing voices, voices that are mistreated. I'm hearing voices crying out the neglected. It's bad, they're bad, must tackle them hard. Free up the police. Without swift justice, we won't have peace. So I'm making a suggestion to the nation. All I think we need is a love injection.
Nosy, Lucia so nosy. They could watch a woman walking and know she going fucking. Oh,
Yo pek with your drummer, yo pek with your wabbit, with your mama. Who salsa o caso and by no musa to a good,
to a copy,
by no musa like me.
like I don't mean.
This is the season for Calypso 2023. And we're talking to you in connection with the South Calypso Tent, getting ready as well for, in fact, all the major tents are getting ready for the major activities in early June. Tony, first of all, give us a sense of your level of preparation. How are things? I know we had a COVID dry run last year, and we technically out of COVID for now, but give us an idea of your preparations building up to today.
Okay. Actually, well, it's a better year. Last year it was kind of tight, and I mean, you saw how we came out. We came out very, in my opinion, magnificent. I mean, the team did very well. We opened the season, and everybody was very pleased as to the level that we standard, the level of the Calypso that they got from us. This year will be no different.
Talk to us about your cast this year, Tony, in terms of whether you have any newcomers and who's returning and so on.
Well, the cast so far, we have one newcomer. He sang a few years ago in the Intercommercial House, but he has never sung on that level. So his name is Freddie. He's from Deriso actually, and he did his first rehearsal last night, and he just has some shaping up to do. That's what we normally do, because he has to get accustomed to that level and to really understand it is different from what he did. Because he was not, even though he performed in Intercommercial House, he was not all set for it. So he has some work to do. And we have some persons who came out last year. We have Queen Yards. Queen Yards, she's from Jackmel, and she has a beautiful voice. So she's doing both soca, groovy soca, and calypso, which is something that I always see that most people can do. They think they are not able to do it. Most persons in the soca and the groovy, I believe that they also have the voice to do the calypso as well. I don't know why there is that possible fear. You understand? I mean, but with the limited resources that we have, I believe lots of the groovy and the soca people can double, but I guess it's a choice of theirs. So Queen Yards is one of the persons doing that this year, and she only came out for quarterfinals last year, only one appearance. So most persons will not know about her. Okay, but she's very powerful, very good voice, and she's doing both calypso and groovy soca. We have Sholan, who came out last year for the first time on the national stage. She's much stronger this year, okay? And people will see some more from Sholan. And then we have Phoenix, who also came out last year again for the first time. A little shy, a little whatever, but she has a very beautiful voice, and she'll be much stronger this year. We have Mighty K, who came out last year again, who is much stronger this year. We have Tino, who is coming back. Tino is coming back. And we T-Blacks again, you know, we're hoping to be there. So all in all, our cast is more or less a mix of the veterans in a sense, some new persons, but a lot to look out for. A lot to look out for, generally.
You haven't mentioned your former Monarchs.
My former Monarchs, yeah, well, that's a situation, but we are able to deal with that situation because last year we dealt with you. As you know, last year Nintus was not around. This year I'm not too sure. He has not confirmed this yet. I'm not too sure. I'm in different things. For now, I know Menell is off island. Menell is off island, so as far as I know, she may not be wrong, but Menell can be very strange sometimes. All of a sudden, you might just see her appear. That's what happened. That's what happened with Menell last year. Last year, Menell said that she was not performing, and about 2 days before our show, about 11 o'clock in the night, I see her message on Facebook Messenger saying, "When is my rehearsal?" That was Menell. 2 days before. Yeah, so you could never tell.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's part of the suspense. We'll wait and see when the Queen shows up.
Yeah. But we are quite. I mean, for now we are quite capable of handling that. I mean, that is what we have to do. We cannot just rely on certain persons to be top. And I think last year we did that, and I think we're going to continue to do that this year. You know, as I said, the persons that we have, I am very confident in them.
Right. So you've had one rehearsal so far. Give us an idea of your backup band this year.
My backup band is the South All Stars. Since last year, we have had no Trinidadians on board. It's only St. Lucians. Most of the musicians, in fact, the entire bass line are former police band members. Former police band members. They are no longer in the band. They are retirees. We have a guitarist who's a former police band member as well. So and just about like the drummer is from Beaufort. The keyboardist, who is also the band leader, Melanie Auger, is from Beaufort. The percussionist from Beaufort. The backup vocals, we have one girl from Castries, one from Monaco, one from Beaufort. I mean, the normal thing. So the side is a side where the musicians are accustomed of playing with each other for years now. But South End has been a tent for a while now without the Trinidadians. Let me say that we started with the Trinidadians from about 2001, I think, and two of them have passed so far, have passed away, including the band leader that we had, which was Keith Young McBurney, and others have been overseas. So we're pure St. Lucia now.
Yeah, excellent. Now you had one rehearsal so far. Give us an idea of the vibe in there. How confident and how excited are the guys for this season?
Well, very, very, very excited, very confident. I mean, the normal way we start, as I said, the music was new to the musicians. The arrangements are quite different. I mean, quite different. So it's not like I don't want to blow my trumpet, but what I'm saying that most of the music in a sense I arrange, and just maybe one or two collections that are arranged by other persons. Okay, so you find the music is nothing that you could anticipate. Okay, like sometimes in what calypso is normally that there are certain lines that persons can anticipate. So you find some of them would have to go back with the music at home to do some rehearsal just to make sure that they get things tight. So it was kind of new to them, that kind of thing. The South End is about that excitement. The music is always rich and that kind of stuff and whatever. It's a little different.
You've always had strong social commentary, and we know we've had an abundance of topics this year. Yes. What from the rehearsal you saw last night? How exciting is that?
Very, very exciting. I must say that there's an exciting piece, which is something which has been going around St. Lucia for a while. But nobody has taken it up. But there's one calypso doing it this year. Interesting topic. I find it strange that most calypsos never took it up. Castries is St. Lucia. You can imagine that, you understand? So yes. So it's an interesting topic. It has been around, and for calypso to take that up, it's really, really, it's exciting. Very exciting. Yeah.
Excellent. So since the last competition, give us an idea. I'm trying to get a sense of how tents prepare. So let's say 6 months leading up to now. What are the things that you're engaged in that preoccupies you 6 months leading up to the start of a season?
Well, thinking of the shows, we have meetings with the CMMC, thinking of the shows, thinking of, but I don't have to think of the theme because I have maintained one theme for the past years, because of, I believe that South Tent, in fact, that's how I think, and I also try to make the tent have that kind of thinking in terms of our film being Long Live Kaiso. Long Live Kaiso, because I'm an advocate for the art form, and I would like my members, the 10 members, to be that as well, because we're in St. Lucia, it's a small country, and we want to make sure that the art form stays alive. So I've been maintaining that film because of our advocacy. You understand? So it is not that is not a problem. That's an issue that's going in terms of changing films every year. We have that standard film, Long Live Kaiso, and I believe it's very important, very effective. In terms of making sure that we have certain sponsors to cover certain areas, because as far as I mean that people understand, the government is financing the tents, but not totally. So there are certain things that we have to make sure that is in place. And since we are from Beaufort, there are certain costs that we have to undergo. You understand, in terms of traveling and that kind of thing and whatever, to making sure the musicians come down. We have to try to make sure that they get an ease with the transportation costs and that kind of stuff and whatever. Because it doesn't make sense to bring musicians down for rehearsals and the same money they get paid they have to use for the gas. We have to make sure that the finance is there. Okay, we have to make sure that our shows are planned in terms of, we know it's 2 shows we're having, so we know that this is planned. I have to make sure that I get Calypsonians to get ready, to get the songs, make sure that they have the writers, that kind of thing. And this is basically it, making sure that the Calypsonians are ready, make sure that the writers are ready, they have the relevant writers, making sure I can advise them on certain things to do, you understand? And getting the sponsors there, the finance there. That's really what it is. And the musicians, and to make sure that the musicians are available.
I wondered if I was wrong to have told you what's going on.
Yeah, since you mentioned funding, I think one of your members raised online the concerns about, the fees that are being paid to Calypso performers per song and so on. How can we have a conversation on funding the tents properly? Because it's a huge sacrifice for the tents. You're participating in a national event, which is a state function national event. What kind of conversation can we have with government to invest a lot more into an art form like Calypso?
Like Calypso, good. Well, that is something we have to make comparisons to the other countries and stuff and see how they do it. I know for Trinidad where you have tents where the government totally finances the tents. Total financing comes from government, and whatever. And you have tents maybe about 75% financing comes from government. I am somebody who believes, that in order to get, you have to give. Okay, so it's a two-sided situation, our main problem today is that there's no Calypso Association. Okay, but we have had the CMMC, it was the CMC before, now CMMC, who is the one who is seen about the funds, who is kind of seen about the funds that's given to us from government. Okay, CMMC is not a Calypso Association. Okay, so they cannot really push too much on the government to request funds for us. So what we're missing in St. Lucia is a Calypso Association, which for years now I've been advocating for that myself, and I must say Karen Tobias, and I'm not hearing the other voices. I'm not hearing the other voices advocating for it. Then what I'm seeing is a more set of division that people complaining, people saying things and whatever. But unless we get ourselves together, okay, unless we get ourselves together as an association where we can show that we deserve that, we have a unity. Okay, there's no unity. Okay, so we cannot really, in fact, they will be reluctant to do anything until we can show that we're united. That's the problem that we have. Okay, I'm saying also that I personally believe, that's my personal belief, if government is giving something, some Calypsonians too have to be more serious. Okay, they have to be more serious as well. I know, I have experiences. I know some of them are not too stable. Okay, some of them do not do enough work. Okay, I have to say it as I see it. But the main thing is for us to get the Calypso Association back together, for us to be able to negotiate with government. The CMMC does not really negotiate with government. They're just there to see that the funding is adequately and certain things are paid and accounted for.
So, Tony, what could be the issue? Because all the tent leaders I know appear to be reasonable people. What is so difficult in meeting, having a conversation to represent your own interest, to lobby for your interest, for your members?
We have tried. We have tried. I mean, I can tell you, Aaron, Toby, and I, we have tried. We called 2 meetings, and persons at the same time, Balance Inc. was formed. Okay, I do not even know where Balance Inc. stands right now. Okay, because Balance Inc. is now KPT. Okay, the persons who were really involved in Balance Inc. I is now KPT. So I don't know how Balance Inc. stand now. I'm saying you could still have an organization like Balance Inc. Because for me, Balance Inc. is a kind of union, although not officially a union, but you must have an association to see about the welfare of the art form. The association is more or less about the art form Calypso, okay, and seeing that the persons under this art form are adequately, compensated for. We have situations where Calypsoans are getting ill and they can get no assistance and whatever. Balance Inc. is for artists generally, or just Calypsonians. But my concern is why we cannot get together and form an association. And we have tried.
Yeah, because it looks like a win-win for me, because once you form an association and you can lobby on your behalf,
you can lobby.
Everything is a gain for you. Yeah,
let me tell you, Bernard, honestly, I don't understand, because sometimes I would hear some person saying that because of this, because of that situations and whatever. But if you have a problem, and that the best way to deal with the problem is come to a meeting and express your views. You say what it is, and then we try to adjust. We try to do things to suit everybody. Because even though tent leaders are involved or were involved in a or at the helm of an association, and you feel that there are problems with that and you want to change, you come for a meeting first, and you express that so that it can be addressed. But people just not coming to meetings. How can you work out anything when you don't come to meetings and you're just hearing about other organizations happening and people? I don't know. Honestly, I personally don't understand why we cannot see that we need an association to see about the art form Calypso. Okay, and the members under this art form.
Yeah, because one of the first things an association would deal with, for example, I think this year for all the tents, you basically have 2 shows for the year, and that's
not enough.
2
shows for the year.
How much does that affect you? Because you can't technically get the Calypsonians to get stage ready in just 2 shows. I think one show in the quarterfinals. That's what it is.
In just 2 shows, 1 show. At least I personally feel that the tents need a third show. Okay, 2 shows before the quarterfinals, and we have expressed that. But it just has not worked. Okay, somehow it just has not worked, because I guess CMM, as I said again, CMMC can only do that much. And I guess maybe to them it's not really their role to push for features. Okay, that will be the role of an association. Understand? But they refuse, or we refuse, to form an association.
It's certainly a discussion we need to continue having throughout the season, because I think it's about time.
But also, what has happened? What has happened in St. Lucia? Persons you expect to really come forward, persons who have won several crowns, seniors. Okay, you don't see them do that. Okay, and they are supposed to be the ones setting examples for the younger ones to follow. Okay, they're supposed to be the ones motivating, encouraging the younger ones, and they're just far apart. They don't come to simple meetings of the tent. Do that. That is the problem. That's one of the. From the time I became a member of the Calypso Association in 1998 when South Calypso Tent was formed, and many meetings from that time, senior persons who have won crowns, many crowns, do not come to the meeting. The examples are not there for the young ones to follow. You understand? They are the ones who supposed to come out and say, guys, you okay? I see Tony pushing, I see Karen pushing. Let's call a meeting. I will help you all. Let's call a meeting. Let's get that together. Because they're seeing that other persons, their colleagues, falling sick, okay, are in homes, are in hospitals, and they can't get no assistance from government, no assistance from the association. And when we joined the association was financially sound. Very, very rich, the Calypso Association. Now we have nothing.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, so certainly it's one of the conversations we need to have throughout the season as well. Tony, in terms of, we know Soca is going through a very interesting transition. We saw what happened in Trinidad and also Barbados. Do you have an issue in terms of the number of Soca artists you have in your tent? Is Soca struggling in your tent as well?
Well, Soca, in my tent is really based on Calypso. Okay, I make it very clear. two persons that might think is very based in Calypso. In fact, before I used to have a few soca artists. After was from South End. Ale, he was a member of South End. He came into that from South End. I try to make them understand that I am not really focused really on soca. The soca persons just see themselves as artists. They only see themselves as artists. They have no real organization. I mean, they nobody can really lobby for them. It's the same tent leaders that are lobbying for them, whereas the tent leaders is more Calypso. You understand? So there's no, like all the soca artists are just loose performing on their own. They do what they want, how they want. They just have a system where they have the song, they just register. There's no like in Trinidad there's maybe a NCC would handle the soca or whatever, and Tuco would handle more or less Calypso. Okay, but in St. Lucia, the soca artists are just loose. There's no organization at all. Okay, if I have, like, take for instance, Queenie Yards, who's a member of my team, she's doing good. I will try my best to assist her, make sure she gets through, make sure things happen, because she's doing both groovy and Calypso. So we have that kind of understanding now, try my best to help her. When Afro was in South End, I should do the same thing. But most other persons, all they see it for is just a performance thing. Just come and perform, and if they get something, whatever. And then big song, I'm an artist, I'm this, I'm that, and that's it. No organization at all. So we have serious problems, man. We have serious problems. We have serious problems about people understanding what they are into. Okay? They don't care about it. All they care about is just having a song, a big song. They sing whether they make it or not, and that's it. They don't care about coming to meetings. They don't care about nothing. They don't. Just performance there. Understand? So that's all the problems. That's how I see things. That's all the problems that I have. How could you be acting so, and then you want increases from government? You want certain things to happen, and your interest is not adequate. Okay? I mean, your interest in the furtherance of that belief, so whatever, it's not adequate. It's just about yourself and you having a big song. That's all, and that's it. We're a small country. We're not trainer. You understand? So we have to have a different approach towards the whole art form, both Calypso and soca. Okay, and that's our major problem.
Yes, certainly a lot to discuss there. So, Tony, give us an idea of the dates now for your performances, your shows.
Yes, South Tent. Our launching is on Friday. Friday is the 2nd June. Friday the 2nd of June is our launching, and our quarterfinals is on Saturday the 17th of June. We are looking to probably try to do something in the South, well, but not a full band show. Not a full band show because it's very costly. We are the first tent launching and the last tent for the finals. Actually, I was saying that we are trying to do something before, but on a smaller scale, maybe most likely on playback because of the cost.
Two more questions for you. In terms of writers and so on, are you well subscribed in that area? Do you have enough writers to work with?
Yes, so far so good. Well, first Alex is one of the major writers in our tent. As you know, I'm not sure if you're aware. He lives in Beaufort. He's for a while now, and he's based in Beaufort. We always communicate. So he's one of the main writers of the tent, and we have other persons involved. Now, as I was saying, that some writers sometimes they don't want their names mentioned, that kind of thing, and whatever. So that's a very funny thing. But I can say one of the major writers in our tent is Fisk Alex.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, this year is going to be a very, I guess, emotional year for you as well, because you wouldn't have with you one of your key performers, believe me. Talk to us about, having this new season without him.
Yeah, well, we didn't have him for a little while, but he promised back and was, in fact, just before he fell sick this year. He promised that he was making a comeback this year. But he told me he wanted to do one song. You understand? He was feeling real good, but unfortunately, he fell sick and whatever. But believe me, he was not performing a few years now because of his same illness and that kind of thing. And but he was always a very strong supporter of the tent, always been around, always advising us to certain things. I mean, always really concerned about the tent. Believe me, was one of the main persons in the tent in terms of his depth and everything and whatever. He was one of the founding members. He was the full-time we built it bigger. So we miss him a lot. I mean, he was a very close friend of mine, very very close friend of mine. So I personally, my family miss him a lot as well. So it's kind of sad that at least he's not around to see or to hear. But I guess I know it's such as life.
Another life gone dumb, betrayed. Another life she feel the pain. Another crude operation. It
But we really do miss him, and it will be a year that, you know, I mean, not knowing that he's around and that kind of thing. So it will be something a little different for us.
When they enter, good morning, how are you, sir? Complaining. Bow, 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 bow.
One final question before we wrap up. And going back to the songs and the lyrics and so on, we know Viewful has been through a bit for the past 12 months and so on. Is that because even when I listen to your previous songs in previous years, your writers were always and your singers were always hinting that we need to pay attention to a lot of issues, and some of those were being missed. Do you get a sense that these are going to be front and center in some of the songs being presented this year?
Yes, I believe so. I believe the crime situation will be a major thing. But sometimes, I mean, when it comes to songs, and I mean, like take for instance the crime situation, you have to have different approaches to it. It's how people approach the songs that would matter. Is people have to be very careful when there's that serious, simple, serious issue or common issue, and motivate everybody approach it the same way. This time around, I think that we have a couple songs on it, and to me, based on what I've heard, there've been different approaches to the crime situation. So I think before it will be a major area, a highlighted area. But again, you know, you have to be very careful with this kind of situations as to how you approach this song.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I'm interested in seeing what the approach is, not just in the Viewful Calypsos, but nationally across.
Nationally across, yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, Tony, we're happy you gave us the time to speak with you, and we're happy that things are going so far so good with your tent.
Yes.
And we will look forward to seeing you and your first night, and look to also engage with your Calypsonians when the time comes.
Yes, but I would like to really thank Calabash TV. Okay, in particular, I mean, I frequently go to your YouTube channel and really get everything that I want. You know, I mean, whatever Calabash TV is up there when it comes to national events, you know, Calypso in particular and that kind of thing. You know, I really appreciate that. To me, this is the only television station that gives us that kind of push. You know, the Calabash TV. So anytime I want something, whatever, even to put on my channel, I go to Calabash TV, and I really appreciate that, and really thank you all for what you have been doing so far.
Yeah, well, thanks, and thank you for what you're doing yourself. You've done so much for Calypso and for music generally, because you also do music in schools as well. So keep doing what you're doing, and I'm sure we'll speak with you some more. Appreciate the time.
Okay, thanks a lot, Bernard.
Another life gone down the drain. Another life should be prepared. Another crude operation. It ended all in abortion. Thank you. Good night.